Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we are number 11 in our back-to-back series of handmade Christmas gifts and ideas for the festive season. And we're going to make a gift card holder or a money wallet, whichever way you want. And this is a very, very easy one to do. We're going to be using a piece of 6x6 designer series paper, and this is from the Classic Christmas. We've been using this right the way through because I wanted to be able to show you that you can use one pack of paper and make lots and lots of different projects for the Christmas season. They're all double-sided pieces. And we've got this lovely cherry cobbler, we've got a green, and we've got a Sahara sand, which is a nice sort of beige colour. If you look back, you'll be able to see this. Now, for this, we are going to use a card base. Now, it doesn't matter whether you are UK, whether you are international, your normal card base. Your measurements will be slightly different, but you can work with that fairly easily. So we always score our card base in half, and we are going to take our scoreboard and we are going to measure it where we've got it in half, and then we need to take it out exactly the same size on each side. So I'm doing this at 3 inches, and I'm doing it on 5 1/4 inches, which makes it exactly the same. So if we count from here, we've got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and that's your 5 1/4. Okay, now if you're doing it in any other country, wherever your half is, just count the same distance either side, and you want it to be just over 1 inch, because that will give you the size that you want. So we can then take this out, put my scoreboard out of the way, and we are then going to fold it as we would normally do for a card base. So we're going to fold it in half, and we need let me see what I've done with my bone folder, which is just over here. Excuse me for reaching across. So we would get our card base exactly in half as we normally would. Now, when you're cutting paper, you will sometimes find there's just a little bit of a difference in that. So we've got that as our normal card base would be in half. And I'm using just standard Whisper White. Because we are going to be massing it, I'm not using the heavy. You can if you want to. Then we are going to take the score line that we've got on this one. So the first side, and we're just going to burnish that back that way. We're going to take the other side, and again on that score line we're going to just burnish that off like that. And then what you have is you have a card which has a little piece here in the center. Now we are going to, along this piece here, we need to glue it so that it is going to seal down. So I'm just taking a little bit of wet glue, and we're just going to put some wet glue in on this part so we can seal it down. On there like that, and then we can just fold it back on itself so that we've got that nice. And if you just, with wet glue, it does take a moment to seal. So I always sort of, with the bone folder, just fold it across on both sides. Okay, and then on the inside as well, we can just give it another just a little bit of a crease. So we've got this piece that we know is nicely glued in on there. Then all we need to do is to put a little bit of glue in on this side here, just right up to the edge. The nearer to the edge you can get it, the more room you will have to put whatever you want inside. So if you're doing it as a gift card, you don't need to be as accurate to the side. If you're putting money inside, then you do. So just a little line of glue on both pieces, and then we're going to fold that back. So again, with your bone folder, just sort of press it so that the glue starts to adhere. Now we can then put that to one side for a moment, because we don't need to have that, because we're going to be using the designer series paper now to cut this through. So if we cut this, which we know is, if I take my trimmer, just get that out from underneath. I've got them at the side so they're easier to come through. So if we take our trimmer, and we know that this is going to be 3 inches across, so we can cut our designer series paper straight in half at 3 inches. So am I going to use, I'm going to use the stripy pattern on this, I think. Or am I going to use the tree? Oh, I don't know. It doesn't matter. So we can do it on both. So we're going to cut it at 3 inches, which is straight in half. And then we need to look at the length of the card, and I want to have a border in here. So this measures the same as our card would be. So it is just over 5 3/4 on this. So I'm going to take it down to, I'm going to take it down to 5, and just going to measure this to see exactly where I want it. I'm going to take it down to 5 1/2. So we're going to cut this down to 5 1/2. And then we are going to cut this side down to 2 3/4. And we've got this little piece that we can use. So that's going to be our front. Just put that down there. The other piece we need to do exactly the same. So we're going to do it at 5 3/4. Sorry, 5 1/2. So that's our 5 1/2. And then on this side, we're going to keep the full 3 inches, but we need to, this piece here measures, if we put it in on here, it measures just over 1 inch. So we're going to take it down to 3/4 of an inch. So let's take it down to 3/4 of an inch. Like this. And I'm actually going to do it that way because I want it off on the other side. The nice thing about the trimmer is you can trim it on both sides. So we'll take it to 3/4 of an inch. Like this. And then we've got this piece to go in on the inside, and we've got the other piece to go in on the inside here. So let me just move that across. Okay, so we can have, and in fact what I should have done is, that piece is just going to, yeah, we should just get it in. What I would do is not stick that down first, so that then it makes it easier, but we can get away with it because we've got quite a big piece in there. So the first piece, which we cut down, we are just going to glue onto the front. So again, I'm using wet glue because that's my preferred. You can use whatever you want, as long as it's going to stick down nicely. Take it over on this way so I can get it straight. And that's our front piece. Then the piece inside, we're going to have this piece down in on here. Now, I probably could have done it a little bit wider, but I think it'll be okay. So we could have had this just a little bit wider, but I think, as I say, I think it'll be all right. So we'll put this piece down in on the center like that, and then this piece we're going to have to slide in a bit. As I say, when you're doing it, just make sure that you put it in before you glue that little side bit in. It'll just make it a little bit easier, but it will fit in because we've got enough of the space in here, so we can slide this in just very carefully and just put it so that we have enough of a space round here on the sides. Line it up with the top. This is where wet glue comes into its own, because you've then got the space in there. So that's the inside part of it. That's the outside part. Now, this little piece that's left over, I quite like to use these tiny scraps to go down, and let's see if that's, yes, that will fit perfectly. So just turning it over, you just get a little bit of interest from the other side. So we're just going to put the glue in on here. Put that down so that it comes in on the center, and I'm just eyeballing it. If you want to measure it, you can do, but to be quite honest, it's not essential. So that's our little panel piece at the center, and then I've just got a few little bits to decorate it. You can decorate it and make it as pretty as you want, as plain as you want. I want to keep these fairly simple. I'm using a lot of this brushed metallic because I really like it. So we're having the brushed metallic down first, and I've just cut this out of the stitched shape dies. You could take it in a square, you could take it in a circle. I just had an oval that I had over, and I thought that that would look quite nice. So I'm just going to put that straight down in the center. And again, I'm just gluing it down. You can put it up with dimensionals if you want to, but this is going to be posted, so I'm not going to. And then I've just done a Merry Christmas sentiment. Again, we've got lots of sets with lovely Christmas sentiments in, so you can choose whatever you want. If you're doing it for another time of the year, then you don't need to put Christmas on it, but this is obviously going to be a Christmas one. So I'm just going to put that straight in on the center, which, as I say, makes a very simple one. You can fancy it up as much as you want, but this is just quite simple like that. And then on the inside, you've got enough space to put your message and things, and you've got this lovely pocket. Now, let me show you. I brought my purse in so I can just show you that you can fit. So here's some money, and you can fit the money in quite easily. So that's sort of £15. Makes a lovely little money wallet. So you can put your money in there. And I've got a, let me just get a gift card would go in there quite nicely as well. So you've got two ways of doing it. And as I say, it fits into a standard envelope because it's literally the same as our normal size card. All we've done is put a little tiny piece in there. So a double way of using it, either with money or with a gift card, and it makes a nice little gift that you can turn around and give to somebody where you're wanting to give some money or you're going to give a gift card. So this is quite a nice sort of classic one. I can give it just an extra little bit of a crease now that we've got it all down, so it will lie flatter like that. There we go. And you have, as I say, a lovely gift card holder or a money wallet, which is a very simple way to do for a Christmas gift. So thank you so much for joining me as always. Please join me for the rest of the series. I'm keeping going because I've had some lovely comments from all of you, so thank you so much. And as always, stay safe and stay well and be kind. Bye bye.